Okay, so I gotta be straight with you. If you're still trying to sell blank journals on Amazon KDP, you are wasting your time. It's 2025. Do you really think you can compete with the thousands of copy and paste notebooks flooding Amazon every single day? Spoiler alert, you can't. And while you're stuck there refreshing your dashboard waiting for that one sale to come in, other sellers out there are making thousands every single month with a super simple concept called coloring books. In fact, one seller is making over $7,000 per month from a Zentangle coloring book, and others are experiencing similar success. So today I'm going to show you exactly how you can ditch the blank books, tap into this market and start making money on Amazon KDP and create super simple coloring books without having to break a sweat. Now, if you're new here, my name is Jeff and I've been self-publishing on Amazon KDP since 2019. Over that time, I published over 2,000 books and generated over 6 figures in royalties. My goal is to help you become self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. So if this sounds like you, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now, I've seen trends come and go, and blank books, well, they used to be easy money, but now Amazon is flooded with them. Competition is brutal. Everyone and their dog has slapped together a motivational journal. And worst of all, Amazon is cracking down. Their algorithm favors books that actually sell, and blank books, well, they're not exactly flying off the shelves anymore. So if you're still making these, you're fighting a losing battle. But what if instead of hoping someone stumbles across your self-love gratitude journal, you sold a book that people were actively searching for every single day? For example, the Zentangle coloring book. So then what is a Zentangle? Well, imagine doodling but with a purpose. Zentangles are intricate, repetitive patterns that are both relaxing and visually stunning. And Zentangle art can be used for stress relief and mindfulness, sparking creativity, and boosting focus and relaxation. So today I'm going to show you how to create and publish a Zentangle coloring book the easy way without drawing a single line yourself. With that being said, let's get started. So first things first, we got to go on Amazon and look at the Zentangle coloring book niche. Now, if we take a look at the first page, we're going to see a lot of books here that actually sell very well. This one, Zentangle Wonders, you can see quickly 121,000. If we keep scrolling down, this is one right here. It's not really a Zentangle, but Mindfulness Patterns bestseller badge, 854 BSR. But if we keep going down, we'll see this book, The Great Zentangle Book, ranked at 25,000. Amazing Patterns ranked at 4,000. And some more Zentangle books here. We see 101,000. And this one's at 19,000. So already right off the bat, we see a handful of books selling pretty well, but we need to do more research. So what I do is I use this free KDP research extension tool called Titan's Quick View. You can download this free from the Chrome Web Store if you're interested. But basically, it's going to give you this purple bar and it's going to give you a lot of good information, such as the total results. And right here, we see 925. Now, there's no point putting a book up on Amazon in an overly competitive niche because it's just going to be that much harder to get your book seen on the first or second page of Amazon. So what I'm looking for are search results that have about 1,000 or less, because this is going to tell me that the competition is not too high, not too stiff, which means there's going to be a better chance for your book to be seen and to be sold. So with the total results being 925, that's below that 1,000 or so that I'm looking for. So this tells me right off the bat that competition is not too stiff here, not too competitive. There's going to be a good chance here at getting a book ranked on the first or second page of Amazon, and that will always be the goal. So there's going to be a better chance to do that. We see the exact match, 8 out of 48. This basically means how many books are using this exact keyword in their title. And then how many books are independently published books? 31 out of the 48. So the vast majority of books here are KDP books, and the average bestsellers rank of 625,000. Now, typically, I like to look for an average bestsellers rank of 300,000 or below, but having an average bestsellers rank above that isn't a make or break kind of scenario. The average review, 799. So we see there are some books here that have a lot of reviews, but there's going to be some books here. For example, this Zentangle Wonders only has 2 reviews. And if we take a look, this book was just published last year. So there's going to be books here that are fairly new as well. The average price, $9.67. Now keep in mind, KDP books are going to be mixed in with non-KDP books. So the price is going to be all over the place. As we see, this one is $11.95. However, this KDP book right here is $7.99. So when you're going to price your book, you're going to want to look at the same type of books that you're competing against and price accordingly. Now that we know that competition is not too high, the next thing that I look for has to do with demand. Now, there's no point putting a book up on Amazon if no one's looking for that type of book and there's no interest there. So in order to judge demand, I'm looking for 3 or more KDP books that all have a bestsellers rank of 300,000 or below, because this is going to tell me that these books are selling consistently right now, which means that there has to be some sort of demand here. Now, if we go ahead and look through the first page, but more in depth, what I like to do, I skip all the sponsored products. I want to look for organic search rankings. So the first one is this mindfulness patterns. It's not really a Zentangle specific type book. However, this is going to have some Zentangle type patterns. This is a bestseller ranked at 854. This is a big publisher right here, if you know this publisher. If we look at this one, mindfulness coloring book for adults, independently published, ranking at 2000, so that's good. But this one specifically, Zentangle, is ranked at 121,000, which is below that 300,000 BSR that I'm looking for. This great Zentangle book is not a KDP book, as we can see under publisher, but it's still selling very well. Now, if we keep going and looking for some Zentangle books, we're going to see all types of different books here. I mean, we even have these reverse coloring books right here, but we really want to look for those Zentangles. This one right here has a bestsellers rank of 1 million, so it's not selling right now, but it has 13 ratings, 4.3 overall. We have another Zentangle that is not a KDP book, and another Zentangle here, not a KDP book. Now, if we keep scrolling down, we're going to see this book right here ranking at 207,000. And then this one right here, Zentangle for Beginners, ranked at 53,000. However, notice that 2.9 out of 5 rating, but it's still selling very, very well. So this gives me a lot of hope. And then we have this book right here, Zen Book 2, independently published. This one has 230 pages, ranked at 74,000. However, it is priced at $15.90, which takes into account all those pages because, like I said, it is 230 pages. So obviously the printing cost is going to be a little bit more. So we see a handful of Zentangle books doing pretty well. But there's one more thing that I look at, and it has to do with the niche score. Now, when it comes to the niche score, which I use basically to validate the demand and the competition that I looked at, I'm looking for a niche score of at least 50. So with the niche score being 59, that's above the 50 that I'm looking for. And we see competition is low, demand is high. This tells me that there's a lot of potential here for profits. So why don't we go ahead and look at exactly what the interiors look like so we can get an idea of how to create these types of books. If we take a look at this book, this is the mindfulness coloring book for adults. Now, this one is not specifically a Zentangle type of book. However, it does include Zentangles right here with Zentangle Nature Art, priced at $8.95. This is going to be 103 pages, so 50 coloring pages. This is 8.5 by 8.5 inches. Now, if we take a look at the interior, we're going to see exactly what type of patterns this type of coloring book is. And we can see it incorporates animals, natures, wildlife. As we can see with the Zentangles, the patterns that are here. So with the leaves, with the branches, with the bird. Now, if we take that bestsellers rank of 2,360, plug it into this KDP book sales calculator, we can see this book estimated book sales 78 per day, which is 2,340 per month. But if we add that royalty calculator, we can see it's $251 per day in estimated royalties. And this one makes over $7,500 per month in estimated royalties. Now, if we take a look at this book, this is specifically a Zentangle book. This is called Zentangle Wonders, a meditative coloring journey coloring book. This has 2 ratings, 5.0 overall, $7.99, and has 40 unique patterns to color. So 86 pages overall, less pages than the previous book. And this one sized differently at 8.5 by 11 inches. Now, if we look at the interior, we're gonna have to go to the sample feature right here and scroll down. And so this is the type of interior that it has. As you can see, very different than the previous book, but this type of interior is still selling very well. Now, if we take a look at that bestsellers rank of 121,226, we can see that's good for about $7 per day, $237 per month in estimated royalties. And that is still a good income from one single book, because think about having dozens of coloring books. Well, all those books' incomes are all going to add up at the end of the month. So this is the power of Amazon KDP, because it's free to start and you can create as many books as you want. Before we continue, if you're ready to take action and you want a full step-by-step guide that walks you through this entire process of creating books like this, I put together something that'll save you a massive amount of time and frustration. It's called the KDP Royalty Roadmap. This isn't some surface level advice. It's my complete start to finish guide that covers everything from niche research to book creation to actually getting sales. Plus, it dives into strategies that I'm not able to cover in depth in this video. No fluff, no guesswork, just a proven system to help you start making money on Amazon KDP, even if you're starting from scratch. So if you're serious about turning KDP into a real passive income stream, grab your free copy now. The link is down below. Now, to create this type of book is actually pretty easy. You can use any art generator that you want, but I'm going to use Nourier Creator. I'm going to use AI generation, and I'm going to do it freestyle, which basically means I'm going to do a manual prompt. And these are the prompts that I used. So I did circle pattern in Zentangle style, and notice all of them end in Zentangle style. I just changed the pattern type, and I just thought of stuff in my head: square pattern, triangle pattern, curvy pattern, line, geometric, mosaic, funky, crisscross pattern, and then Z pattern. And I just tried 10 prompts to show you how it would look like. But typically you're going to want anywhere from 30 to 40 images. So it's actually pretty simple. You could just keep changing the patterns and keep regenerating the images. Now for this one, there's two options here to choose no background or background layer assist. For this type of coloring book, I want a full page basically. So I want that background layer assist. And then with the image size, you can choose pretty much all types of sizes here, but the two most popular are 8.5 by 8.5. But this book I'm going to create in an 8.5 by 11 inch size. And then with the line thickness, you can choose thin, medium, thick. For this book, I'm going to keep it at medium and then just hit generate images. Now, after a couple minutes, your images will show up here. Now, every prompt is going to come with 4 pictures or 4 images per set. And so this one, circle pattern in a Zentangle style. We have 4 options here, which basically lets us pick and choose the best one out of the group. And I'll probably go with this one right here. We could actually use 2 of them in 2 separate pages because this one is a lot different than the other 3. Now, if we go to the next one, square pattern in Zentangle style. Now, some are going to be better than others. The next one is triangle pattern in a Zentangle style. And then this one right here, curvy pattern in Zentangle style. I like all of these, but if I was going to choose one, I'd probably go with the third one right here because it takes up most of the white space. Now, keep in mind, if the images don't turn out how you like it, you can simply regenerate the images or try different prompts until you get some that are satisfactory. Now, if we go images 17 to 32, the next one is called line pattern in a Zentangle style. Notice it's an elephant, and I really like how these ones turned out. I kind of like the third one right here or the first one. The next one, geometric pattern in a Zentangle style. I think any of these honestly would do. And then the next one, mosaic pattern in Zentangle style. Now, out of these 4, I'd probably stick to the first 2 because I'm noticing some weird stuff happening in the 3rd and 4th images. And then this one, funky pattern in a Zentangle style. And so this is basically a turtle. And I kind of will just probably go with the 3rd one because it's the one that fills in most of that white space. Now we have a couple more images, so let's check them out real quick. The next one is going to be crisscross pattern in Zentangle style. I really like how this one turned out. And then the last one that we have is called Z pattern in Zentangle style. Once again, I really like how this one turned out. Now, all you have to do is download all of these images and you can choose right here, PNG, SVG, PDF, or as PowerPoint. Now, I like to do SVG because I noticed it keeps the quality better than PNG. And then we're going to go and head over to Canva to put all of these images together so that we have a completed book. Now we need to know our interior size. And so in order to do that, I use this KDP helper with tangent templates. All I have to do is select the cover type, which is paperback. I'm going to do 8.5 by 11. And the number of pages, I'm aiming for 80 pages, which means there's going to be 35 to 40 coloring images. Paper type, white. Interior bleed, I'm going to set to yes, because if we noticed with those images, some of those images extend to the edges of the page, which means that you're going to want to choose this bleed option. Now, if we go over to interior, we can see it says 8.625 by 11.25. So these are the dimensions that we have to use when creating our project on Canva. Now on Canva, what you want to do, custom size. And then right here on custom size, we want to choose inches. And if we remember, width was 8.625. And then the height, if I'm remembering correctly, is 11.25. And then we're going to create this design. Now, the first page typically is what you call a belongs to page. And what does that look like? So if we go here to text, add a heading, type in this book belongs to, and then resize it so it fits on one line just like that. Then you can resize it again and put it somewhere in the middle here. Now go to elements on the left-hand side, look for a shape, this line right here, put it somewhere on the bottom, and you can extend that line to the side. Now what I like to do is turn this text into a coloring image. So in order to do that, you can click on the text, hit effects, go to hollow, and as you can see, it does exactly that. You could play around with the thickness, and then you can also change the font to something that is more fitting of the type of book that you're creating. So I'm going to go with this font. I'm going to resize it. I'm going to put it somewhere more down. And we can also change the line thickness here by going up here, clicking on line style and changing the line weight to probably, I would say 2. And then highlight both of them and just center them just like that. Now this page is done. When you add a page, this page is going to be the back side of page 1. Now for a coloring book, you really don't want anything on the back side of your coloring pages. So just add another page. Now this is where we're going to put our first image, and then page 4 is going to be a blank image. Page 5 is going to be another image. So basically every other page is going to have an image. Now, all we have to do is grab the images that we downloaded. I like to highlight all of them and then just drag and drop it to Canva. And then I'm going to start picking and choosing from each set of images. So for the first set of image, if I remember correctly, I'm probably going to go with this one right here. And it's very simple. Just extend it to the corners of the page, just like that. And then move on to the next image. This is a blank page. And then another image right here. And you just keep doing that until you run through all of your images. So let me do that really quickly and show you what it should look like. And then there you go. So if I go to grid view, I'm going to show you exactly what it should look like. So remember to have every other page to be a blank page, because it's going to act as the backside to the previous page. So if we want to look at the actual images, here's the first one that I chose. I really like how that turned out. And then here's the next one. We have the next one right here. And it's actually pretty simple how to do this. All you have to do is just go to your favorite art generator and play around with the prompts. And once you get a prompt that works really, really well, you can go ahead and just keep making and generating images. And specifically with this type of niche, the Zentangle coloring book, you don't really need to be perfect, because imperfection is really the key with this type of pattern. And as long as it has spaces for the customer to color in, these are the type of images that can do pretty well. Now, once again, keep in mind that you're going to want 30 to 40 images. I only showed you 10. All you have to do is go back and regenerate more images and keep adding to here until you have your 30 to 40 images. Now, once you do, all you need to do to save it and get it ready for upload onto KDP is hit share, hit download it as a PDF print, flatten PDF, and then make sure it's all pages. Go ahead and choose CMYK, but if you only have the free Canva, choose RGB, and then hit download. Now, if you want to try out Nuria Creator, I'll leave the link down below. If you know of a better art generator tool that's as simple and easy to use, comment it down below so everyone knows. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell, as well as follow me on all my socials at JeffsAtLife. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.